What is going on, guys? DBG here, and in this video we are going to be ranking the best 2 guards in NBA 2K21 MyTEAM. So before we get on to it, if you guys are new to the channel, subscribe. We upload more MyTEAM content than anywhere else. As well as that, this is video number 4 for the day. We don't really have any sub goals. I'm happy the way we are. We hit our sub goal of 222,000 subscribers by the end of last year. We hit that goal, so I'm good. I'm just happy that there's still some people out there watching. So anyway, yeah. We are only going to be looking at primary 2 guards. So a lot of guys that people run into 2, like Grant Hill, like Cam Reddish, like Scotty, those guys are not eligible. So yeah, these are the cards right here. Okay, so let's have a look at these. And you guys can already tell in general that the 2 guard position, it's kind of weak. I will say that there are a few good ones, but it's a kind of weak position. So, actually no, so not only there are a few good ones, there are a few elite 2 guards. Like, by elite, I mean like probably 4 of the top 8 guards in the game are 2 guards. Anyway, Johnson. I mean, D. He's the reason I will always say that badges mean more than attributes and stats, because his stats are great, badges are awful. I don't like the card D tier. Mitch Richmond, at this stage in the game, I'm gonna give him C, but man, Mitch Richmond. I'm pretty sure Mitch and Allen Houston, I don't think I have Houston here on this list, but those guys carried me to my first ever. Well, they carried me to my first, like, 68 wins in a row at the start of the game. Back in the best stick shooter in the world era, Mitch Richmond and Allen Houston carried me. They're about C tier. Kobe Bryant, I mean, I genuinely thought that he could get range extender for the longest time. I think because of how good he is on next gen, I'm going to put him in C tier. Because everyone put range extender on him. When he first came out, range was like 5k to range of a player. So, and this was when the badge list was a thing. So everybody had Kobe ranged out. And there were so many Kobes on the market. Basically, every Kobe on the market had range at one stage. But then, I only realized a little bit later that he can't get range because there were just so many of them with range. And now there's less and less of them. But he's not that great a card. Although his animations are so nice, and on next gen he's pretty good. But there is a really good Kobe card. This card is not the really good Kobe. Manu. I mean, Manu's kind of the same. I think, as far as where Manu came, did Manu come out a week after Kobe? Or was it 2 weeks after Kobe? Me? No, it had to have been 2 weeks because Flash was a week after Kobe. But Manu just doesn't do much and has a bad release. Brandon Roy, I mean, he's slightly better, but he's C tier as well. Like, none of these guys so far even have clamps. And we got Michael Cooper. I mean, looking at these guys here, are there 20 cards better than Michael Cooper? I think I'm going to say yeah, but it's a close one. It's a close one. I'm going to put Michael Cooper in B tier. A really, really good card. What he does, obviously he was unbelievable for his time. What he does is hit corner threes and play really, really good defense. And for his price at the time, there was nobody better. Like right now, there are definitely better options than Michael Cooper. A lot of better options, but I still don't think I can put him below B tier, because he's way better than these guys in C tier. Eric Gordon, I mean, realistically, Eric Gordon's the best player in C tier. Eric Gordon offensively is still nice. I'm not going to say he's this great offensive card, but he's okay. He's more usable offensively, but his defense, non-existent. I think I might have to move some guys in tiers, because the worst player on this list is this guy right here. He's worthless. His Iverson card is absolutely worthless. Especially because there's about 5 chances to get the other Allen Iverson. And then limited as well. Like, if you don't have the pink diamond Allen Iverson at this stage, it's not on 2K, it's on you. And the pink diamond Iverson is a million times better than this Iverson. This Iverson can't play defense. He also can't get range extender. And I would say, oh, you can put clamps on a player. But clamps cost 50k for bronze, so I'm not going to even talk about that. Like, but yeah, so he's worthless tier. Klay Thompson, A tier. The best player by a country mile that we have seen on this list right here is Klay Thompson. Can play defense, can shoot it. I was going to say I half regret not using him for 250 quals, but at the same time, he cost some MT and I lost game 2 to a guy that no matter what team I put together, I reckon would have been still a sweat fest because the guy finished near the top 10 the whole way. So I reckon Clay, half a regret not picking him, but he's really good. And for his value, he's still really nice. He's less than 20k. Jaylen Brown. If you badge up Jaylen, he's S tier, but I don't advise you to badge up Jaylen because it costs 200k just to give him range and quick first step. Like, I just can't suggest it. I cannot suggest it when silver range extender is like 50k. It's ludicrous. It is absolutely ludicrous, the badge situation. And I will not recommend it, but at the same time, if people did badge him up, he is unbelievable. Just not worth badging up. JR, no question about it. In my opinion, for the way I play the game, he's probably the number 2 guard in the game. And his ability just to shoot the ball is different. For me, I don't dunk the ball that much, really. A lot of the time, like to burst into a 3-point shot. That's kind of my tactic on current gen. And JR does that perfectly. His quick stop shooting so good with the Hall of Fame range extender. As well as that on next gen, his ability to shoot leaners from half court is really, really good as well. A competent defender. For that reason, he is going in S tier. Then we got CJ McCollum. I mean, he's like objectively as good as Eric Gordon, so he's in C tier as well. David Thompson badged up. I mean, fully badged up, he's A tier, but again, I don't advise you to badge him up. It's a Jaylen Brown situation where, like, yeah, you cannot argue that a fully badged up David Thompson is worse than a Michael Cooper, but like, don't badge him up. First of all, don't pay the 150 tokens for him. And don't badge him up. The only reason you should spend 150 tokens on him is if it turns out that the Opal, whatever Opal token rewards are unbelievable. But if Opals are 750 tokens and they're only 97 overall, I'm telling you, for season 4, they're not going to be worth it. They're not going to be worth picking up. Unless you obviously have the tokens. Then we have got Pistol Pete Maravich. And Pistol Pete is just better than all these guys. He just is. Yeah, he doesn't play defense, but offensively, he's just way better than all these guys. He's actually kind of comparable in offense to a CJ McCollum, as in they do kind of the same things. They have a lot of the same animations. But in my opinion, Maravich is just objectively a million times better. But they're similar, but Maravich is a much better version. So Maravich, B tier. Steve Smith. I mean, I don't necessarily like his animations, but you can give him every single badge. So, yeah, let's put him in B tier. Non-badge up Steve Smith's probably like C, but he's gonna B. Tracy McGrady. I mean, at this stage in the game, he's hard to hide, but he is S tier, and I'm moving everybody down tier. I can't have nobody in D tier or worthless. So, at this stage, he's worthless. Yeah, I'm happy with this. I am more happy with this. More even anyway. Because these guys are all pretty good. Donovan Mitchell. I'm going to put him in A, but I might move him to S. Because, like, again, badged up Donovan Mitchell's a god. Like, he's got quick first step. He's got the dunk. He's got the shooting. He's got the release. He's got the tween. Got the animations. He's fantastic. So, he's going A tier. Then we got Ray Allen. Ray Allen is... Let me put Ray Allen... Why am I going here and here? It's not between anything. He's A tier. He's objectively A tier. There's no question. There's no question he's not B tier. There's no question he's not S tier. A tier. You go A tier. You go A tier. You're basically the exact same card. You guys go in all these tiers. Like, literally. Sam Jones, Ray Allen, Klay Thompson. It is personal preference. It is personal preference who you prefer. For me, I prefer Sam Jones, followed by Ray Allen, followed by Klay. And Drazen as well. And then Drazen has the worst of them all, but some people like Drazen, others like Klay, others like Ray. So they're basically the same cards, so they're all in A tier. We got Victor. Victor's a tough one. Because he's better than Cooper, but I don't like the fact he's a 6'4" guard. And it's a weird one. It's like saying I don't like a 6'4" guard. Yeah, I run with 2 point guards. He can't be... It's like basically in... If you're playing Pro-Am. Like, a lot of people run with, say, a point guard and a sharp at the 2. Like, basically like a cone. As well as that, a lot of teams run with 2 point guards. Running a 2 point guard lineup makes sense, whereas Oladipo, he can't really be that secondary point guard, ball handler. So I think he's just that little bit worse, a little bit off A tier, but actually, you know what? You go down, you go up. Oh yeah, I'm happy with that. I'm more happy with that. James Harden, same tier as Pete Maravich. James Harden and Maravich are essentially, well, they do similar things. I'm not gonna say they're essentially the same card because they don't even have close to the same animations, but they do very, very similar things on the floor. They're the same height. They're both kind of glass cannon cards. Cards that can more than compete in the offensive end, but are going to get cooked on defense. So, yeah, let me put him there. Then we got Coutinho Mobley. I mean, he's better than McCollum, maybe. Similar to Gordon, so C tier. Can score though. Can really, really score. Then we got the Songbird himself. I'm going to put him B. You want to argue A when he's badged out? Go for it, but he's better than Oladipo though, isn't he? Oladipo, you've moved back into the pack. You've moved back into B tier. But this is just hard because Oladipo's better, definitely better than Maravich and Harden. Oh, I'll keep him as there. I'll keep him as there. Because I can't move either Maravich or Harden down. That's just blasphemy. DeRozan, if we're talking next gen, he's good. We're talking current gen, he's like D tier. He can't shoot. I'm sorry, he can't shoot. He's D tier. He's a 2 guard and small forward, can't shoot. That is a bad combo. That is a bad combo on current gen. So, for that reason, DeMar DeRozan, you go into D tier. And we got Monte Ellis. Monte Ellis, you go... Ooh. He's A, but if you're good with him and you want to argue he's S, that's fine. I'm not very good with Monte Ellis. And I really like his release. And like a lot of people don't like his release. It's Steph Curry base, so the base is automatically quick, and I like his upper. Obviously, releases are subjective, but I like Ellis's release. It's just something about him I don't like. I don't know what it is. He's like a quite worse Stockton. But the reason why he's not in the top tier is he's worse than T-Mac, and there are a lot of really good players left to go. Then we got Nick Anderson. I mean, I'm putting Nick Anderson in this category with the snipers. I'm putting them all in the same tier because I think he belongs in there. Like, I think maybe Nick Anderson's the worst of all these guys. Maybe if you want to argue him B tier, that's fine. I might do that, but for now, he's an A. Luka Doncic. C tier. C tier. He's good on next gen. Really good on next gen. But current gen, I mean, he's just not better than Coutinho Mobley, is he, on current gen? Mobley shoots better than him. Mobley kind of moves better than him. Like, Luka can't even dribble the ball on current gen. He's bad, like, really bad. If we're talking pure current gen, Luka's D tier, but I'm going to put him C tier because he's very good next gen. Then we have got Michael Redd. I mean, he's another one of those shooters, except the difference is Michael Redd is more of a better Nick Anderson than anything else because both of them have bronze clamps, which is kind of a little bit worse than the gold clamps on Clay. And if I'm correct, Clay is Sam Jones of gold. I know Ray Allen is silver. I don't know what version Drazen has. And then Redd and Anderson have got bronze clamps. But he's the best shooter of them all. If we're talking purely catch and shoot, he's the best shooter of all these guys. And then we got Jordan. Okay, I'm going to get some heat for this. B tier? Oh, I don't know. Like, give me all these shooters over him. And I think A tier might be too crowded because all these guys are just the same card. I might just remove some of them from the list because they're literally the same card. Can I take them off the list? That's what I'm doing. Okay, so in my opinion, the best of all these cards is probably Sam Jones. So Sam Jones is the one that remains on the list. And it's just me putting MJs. I prefer all these cards to MJ. And my whole thing is that all the shooters, it just makes the list look way out of proportion when you've got 5 of the exact same card in the same spot. So Sam Jones represents all those 3 and D snipers. Then we got Bingo. I mean, badged up Bingo's A tier. He's S tier borderline current gen. Or sorry, next gen. Current gen, he's like somewhere between high B, low A, but he's really good. Really good dunker. Comes with gold clamps. He can get range. Release is iffy. Release is iffy. I will say LeBron James' release is definitely iffy, but he has a lot of good things going for him. So I'm gonna put him in A tier, but if you want to move him down to B, I'm not gonna argue. Rex Chapman, wherever Eric Gordon is. Dwayne Wade. You guys know how I feel about Dwayne Wade. C tier. He's just not it. He's just not it. He is just not the single best card in the game, in my opinion. Of course he's S tier. I'm not going to do... Like, there are more obvious trolls that I can do. There are more obvious trolls that I can do later this year. But Dwayne Wade... Nah, I'm not trolling. I, personally, am not as high on Wade as most people. Like, for the way I play the game. Like, you'll even see it. Even in the game that I lost today in 250, my Baron Davis was cooking my opponent's Dwayne Wade. Like, I am personally, like, better with Baron Davis than Wade, but, I mean, Wade's still objectively a top 6 or 7 card in the game at worst. Then we got Jeff Malone. Malone, I mean, he's mini T-Mac. He can get all the badges. He's good. He's really good. Oh, wait, mini T-Mac. I mean, like, literally 6'4" T-Mac. Hot zones aren't the greatest, but I'm going to give him A. Okay, Westfall. He's like defensive Maravich. I don't know. I think I prefer him to beat Maravich, but I don't know how much I prefer him to beat Maravich. So I'm going to put him B tier, but with the potential to move up to A. Then, let's move these shooters to the end of this list because it's getting annoying having to find where Ray Allen is each time. Then we got Hal Greer. I mean, Hal Greer is pretty good. I mean, Hal Greer is kind of high B tier as well, especially badged up. Just that little bit small, although you can't play the point guard position. Hal Greer is a Dino clone, and we all know basically what those SIGs are. I think it's a Pro 6 crossover, Pro 4 behind the back, base 4. I'm not sure what upper it is. Upper 26 maybe is a guess, but yeah, he's just a Dino clone. If you want to move him up, not going to complain, but he is most definitely high B tier, if not A tier. Booker. I mean, is Booker better than Eric Gordon? Not objectively. Like, I've used Booker, he's alright. He's fine, he does a job, but like, is he objectively better than Eric Gordon? No. Is he as good as Harden? No. Is he as good as Maravich? No. And these guys are the 2 glass cannons on this tier. He's nowhere near as good as them. Then we get Jay Rich. I mean, badged up Jay Rich. Looking at the cards that are remaining, badged up Jay Rich is going S tier. He's got a really nice release. He's basically like an Eddie Jones type player, except he doesn't quite have the defensive tendencies, though he can get the badges. He dunks a bit better than Eddie Jones, has some better badges, but overall I do think Jones is a better card. Starks. When you give Starks quick first step, I like him. I really like him. He's not great on next gen, but on current gen, with the boost, he's nice. He's nice if you give him quick first step. Then we've got Nah. You go down a tier, because he's good off rip without quick first step, but Hal Greer is better. Like, Hal Greer is better than John Starks. You get Dell. Dell Curry is going into A tier, but he is also another member of the Shooters Club. So he is going off the list again, because I don't want to just make a whole like tier for the same players. Jamal Crawford. He's fun. He's like a better James Harden and Maravich. He is a fun card to use. That's all I'm going to say. If Jeff Malone is A tier, Jamal Crawford's A tier, because they're the same base. He's just fun. He's not great. Like, he's not this spectacular card in game. But man, if you get him with the right badges, he is just straight up fun to use in game. So for that reason, Jamal Crawford, you're going into A tier. Then we got Tyler Hero. I mean, he can get clamps. And when he gets clamps, when he gets clamps, he's just in the shooter crew. He's just in that. Like, I can hit a wide open shot and occasionally go to the basket and I'm somewhat mobile. He is in the shooter crew of Michael Redd to Tyler Hero. That's where he belongs. He doesn't bring anything different. He is in the shooter crew. Then we have got Walter Davis. Badged out Walter Davis is S tier. Badged out Walter Davis is... I'm going to say these 2 guys are the best two so far, and then these two are in a debate for number 2 or for number 3, and then these Jay Rich is better than T-Mac. Walter Davis is literally T-Mac, but a bit smaller, but he can get clamps and play defense, so I get more, just better badges. He's just better T-Mac. Then we got Eddie Jones. Eddie Jones, man, he's S tier as well. Eddie Jones is a really, really good card. Like, he carried me. Like, he carried me again. I lost in 250k, but man, Eddie Jones carried me against the guy who beat me. Eddie was my primary, secondary, and tertiary option, and then as soon as my opponent kind of neutralized Eddie Jones, I struggled big time. So yeah, he's S tier. He's incredible in my opinion. Allen Iverson. He's small, but I like him. I think he's very comparable to Monte Ellis. I really do think he's comparable to Monte Ellis. If you can give him clamps, but I also advise you not to give him clamps, and I just put Marquez Johnson up. Oh my god, I put both Allen Iversons in worthless. I'm like, where did Marquez Johnson go? Allen Iverson, he's very, very comparable to a Monte Ellis. Really good card. Release is fantastic. Handles are pretty good. Dunking's good. I actually like the card. He's just fun. Rip Hamilton. I mean, he's all right. Like, plays a bit of he plays defense. Can hit wide open. No range. I mean, he's similar to a Michael Cooper, I guess. So let's put him B tier. He'll play defense. That's something anyway. Kobe Bryant. S, and it's not even close. It's not even close. Kobe Bryant. Like, Kobe, J.R., Dwayne Wade, Zach LaVine are the best two guys in the game. And Kobe might be the best. Kobe might be the best in them all. He's unbelievable. Then we got D'Angelo Russell. I like Russell more than most people like Russell, by the way. I don't know. I like him. But is he as good as... If we're looking at the other point guards, is he as good as like how I agree with Jamal? You know what? He's fun. He's fun in the same way Jamal Crawford's fun. Yeah, you have to give him... I'm pretty sure you have to give them both clamps. And yeah, clamps ultra expensive. I don't advise. If you can find a badge up deal, he's actually really good. He's really good. And we got LaVine. LaVine S tier. Ridiculous card. Ridiculous card. And then we got the big 4-2 guards anyway, with Eddie Jones coming in to round out the top 5. These are the best 4-2 guards in my opinion. You can have them in any order you want. Most people would have Zach LaVine 4, although the way I play the game, I have Zach LaVine 1 on current gen. And on next gen, I would go... Current gen, I have LaVine 1, JR 2, Kobe 3, Wade 4, but it's a really close one between any of them. We're talking next gen, I would have Kobe 1, JR 2, LaVine 3, Wade 4. That's probably what I would have for next gen. But they're all unbelievable. Like, these are like 4 to 6, 7 best cards in the game. They're incredible. And we got Clyde. I mean, some people really like Clyde. I've used his free agent card. I'm just going to say I've never used the diamond card, but I know you can get basically every badge, and I know his free agent card is money. So, Clyde, you're going A tier. Okay, then we have got James Harden. James Harden is basically the same card. Like, if you're a Harden fan and you couldn't get this Harden here is basically the same card. They're B tier. They're all right. They'll score. Sidney Moncrief, B tier as well. Brings nothing on offense, but is a lockdown defender. And when I mean lockdown defender, I mean he might be one of the best perimeter defenders in the game. Just a little bit too small. However, it's a bit of a weird one. Like, if they gave Sidney Moncrief a couple more badges and made him even a competent offensive player, he'd be great. Because he's obviously got all the, like, half defensive badges. But he's got really good... He's got the same release as Michael Cooper as well. Actually, I would not be even that surprised if he's a clone of Cooper. Haven't checked it up, but I wouldn't be surprised. So anyway, yeah. That is pretty much it, lads. That is the tier list. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.